So Caitlin Clark appears on the Bird and Taurasi show, and there is a lot of fun banter that comes out of it, including Taurasi herself calling out reality is coming.
Have you ever seen a moment in sports when everyone braced for conflict, but the end result was pure, unexpected respect? It gets crazier. Diana Taurasi, who once warned that reality is coming for Caitlin Clark, just shared a surprisingly warm conversation with the Indiana Fever's rising star on the Bird and Taurasi show. Initially, fans across social media geared up for the tension of a legendary WNBA vet challenging a brash new talent. Instead, we got the complete opposite: open camaraderie and a sense that two basketball minds from different generations can actually meet in the middle.
Please welcome to the show, Caitlin Clark. Caitlin, did you ever
What's up, guys?
Cheers.
Excited to be back. Don't worry, I got this nice throwback
Well played.
But listen to this. The initial friction started when Taurasi bluntly stated that college phenoms, like Clark, would be humbled once they stepped into the pro league. That statement alone sparked debates about gatekeeping, potential jealousy, and the question, could Clark's unstoppable momentum from Iowa carry into the WNBA? Thanks to their show appearance, we finally have an answer, and it's not what anyone anticipated. It all started innocently enough during a routine ESPN broadcast. Scott Van Pelt casually asked Diana Taurasi about rookie transitions to the WNBA, specifically mentioning Iowa's Caitlin Clark.
What will the league have in store for them when they get there?
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
Instead of the predictable praise, Taurasi delivered an eyebrow-raising statement: reality is coming. 3 simple words from WNBA legend Diana Taurasi set the basketball world ablaze. Fans were instantly polarized, taking sides in what seemed destined to become women's basketball's newest rivalry. Online forums lit up with theories. Some argued Taurasi was simply realistic, citing the WNBA's intense physicality. Others believed she'd intentionally downplayed Clark's extraordinary skill. Regardless of motive, those words set the stage for a potential generational clash.
Because we remember what she said to Scott Van Pelt on SportsCenter for ESPN months ago, when she said there's levels to this. It's one thing to go against young girls and stuff like that. You about to go up against grown women. We gonna be waiting for her.
Clark's supporters insisted she had already proven her worth with record-breaking performances and monstrous viewership stats at Iowa. Critics, however, suggested no matter how good Clark looked against college defenders, pros would be a different beast. That tension escalated throughout her final NCAA season, especially as reality is coming got memeified, and it all led to the Bird and Taurasi show invite, where the basketball world hoped to see if any real friction would erupt live on air.
Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird on their Bird and Taurasi show had Caitlin Clark on as a guest. And I, for one, was just waiting for the reality is coming nod. I thought maybe Caitlin Clark would use her dry-witted sense of humor to call it out.
When it was announced Caitlin Clark would guest on the show, co-hosted by Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi, fans buckled in for potential fireworks. Taurasi, revered by many as the WNBA's greatest ever, had triggered an unexpected rivalry dynamic with her earlier remarks. Meanwhile, Clark was finalizing her move to the Indiana Fever, carrying with her colossal hype from a mesmerizing collegiate run. Everyone braced for an intense, possibly awkward confrontation. The stage was set, tensions were high, and basketball fans everywhere wondered, would Taurasi double down on her blunt assessment, or would Clark step up to defend herself?
See, if there's one player, if there's one type of player that has absolutely nothing to worry about, you see the numbers right there. Diana Taurasi, 40 years of age, 16 points a game, 39% shooting, 35% from three-point range. Numbers very comparable. Caitlin Clark has numbers incredibly comparable.
People scoured social media in the days prior, looking for subtle jabs or cryptic remarks from either side. Yet both camps remained quiet, letting the talk show become the first genuine setting for these two alpha competitors to address what fans were calling a generational standoff. The broadcast quickly became must-watch content, overshadowing typical WNBA off-season chatter with curiosity about how each would handle the other.
Well played. Sounded like a product placement.
There we
Well
go.
played. Our show loves it. Our show loves it.
When Clark finally joined the Zoom call, viewers collectively held their breath. Initially reserved, Clark cautiously navigated the opening moments. Then, something astonishing happened. Instead of maintaining her previous skepticism, Diana Taurasi openly praised Clark, calling her extraordinary and amazing. Clark herself seemed taken aback by this unexpected warmth.
You know, I've been following Caitlin for so long and been watching her college career just in awe, and to be on the court. And you know, the first game was in Phoenix, and it felt like the last game that was ever going to be played. There was such anticipation. The crowd was going crazy. All the people that came out to see Caitlin and you know, our teams play against each other. It really was an amazing moment. And you talked about how, you know, if you could play against anyone that is this new generation. So I got to cross paths with Caitlin, at least for a couple games. And to me, that fits a lot, you know? Like, we've been doing this for a long time. To see Caitlin do what she does is, I think someone said the other day, I'm like, I want the season to start so I can watch you again.
The legendary Phoenix Mercury star, who previously sounded skeptical of incoming rookies, remarked on Clark's high-level shooting ability and rapid mental adaptation to the professional game. She referenced how tough it is to maintain that edge night after night, but presented it in a tone far from critical. Casual spectators who expected conflict were stunned by this pivot. Taurasi cracked jokes about her own career longevity and teased that reality might be hitting her more than Clark these days.
Congrats on your retirement, Z.
Thank you.
And congrats.
Now, unfortunately, reality's coming to me now.
What's your big plans? What are you going to do?
You know, I keep telling Sue I thought I was going to have all this time to do all these things. I'm more busy now. So if I give you any advice, play as long as possible.
We'll see. We'll get to 10 years. Then we'll think about it.
Get to 10 years.
This admission reflected an openness rarely seen from a veteran known for her blunt wit. Whatever the backstory behind that older remark, Taurasi wasn't doubling down on warnings. She was offering honest praise. Caitlin Clark's demeanor spoke volumes. She addressed that earlier reality is coming moment with a light, almost playful curiosity, asking questions that showcased confidence without arrogance. Her remarks showed an eagerness to learn.
Well, I was saying, like, that game in Phoenix, because we only played in Phoenix one time. And it was before Olympic break. Obviously, we had All-Star there too, but it was a great game. Honestly, I'm pretty sure we were down like 10 or 15 and came all the way back and won. That was like our first win versus a team that was above 500. So thank you.
From Taurasi's 2 decades of experience, rather than launching any sort of clapback over the controversial remark, many watchers noted Clark's polished media presence and real humility, a duality that's part of what's made her so compelling. Clark also revealed specific offseason goals, notably refining her mid-range shooting and floaters, a recognition that WNBA defenses could be less forgiving than colleges.
This offseason, there was the viral picture that went around showing off your guns. Everyone's wondering, have you been hitting the weight room? Was it the camera angle? What happened?
How did you do that? I've been trying to do that for 20 years.
AI is getting out of control. Come on. But no, I mean, just honestly trying to get stronger.
Offseason, working on your game.
You're trying to get stronger, like a lot of time in the weight room, and it's like something like I kind of enjoy, so it's been pretty easy for me to like spend time in there and really work on that part of my game. And you know, I think the biggest thing on the court is just like that mid-range area. Like I got pretty uncomfortable in there when I would get in there, whether that's like I didn't really have any floater, I didn't like taking a mid-range jump shot, so just getting more comfortable like when I get my feet kind of into the paint.
This demonstrated not just ambition, but also a willingness to adapt. It fit with how she responded to Taurasi's earlier words. No bitterness, no protest, just forward momentum. By the time she casually mentioned wanting to limit her technical fouls, the segment had fully morphed from a potential standoff into something more humorous and collaborative.
Say that again, Kevin.
How many technicals did you get last year?
So last year, I think, I think the limit is 7 and
It's
you get
7,
suspended.
yeah. You got 6.
I got
I leave that
6.
to you two. You two know the limits.
I got 6 too.
I
But
had
this
2 my
year,
whole career.
Hey, you
This year
got
I'm
a couple
not.
too. I can see it. Yeah.
Oh wow, Sue, you're so perfect.
Of course, Sue Bird also played a part, steering conversations away from confrontation and into shared ground, such as the strategic aspects of the league or nostalgic talk about transitioning from a star rookie to a respected vet. The synergy felt reminiscent of players on a team bench trading friendly banter. No tension or intimidation in sight. At one point, Bird teased that both Clark and Taurasi were known for outspokenness on the court, but ironically had meshed far better than fans might have assumed. In a memorable moment, Clark joked about how some veterans told her the biggest difference in the pros is daily grind. She singled out how Bird and Taurasi's comedic commentary made that potential stress feel more manageable. The resulting laughter showed that, ironically, the one-time doubter had, in a live broadcast, become a quasi-mentor figure in front of an audience expecting pure conflict.
What she does on the court with how she handles herself off the court, that really propelled Caitlin Clark into the phenomenon that she is today.
Despite the comedic undertone, bigger takeaways were clear. Clark reaffirmed her excitement to join a retooled Indiana Fever squad, which also includes seasoned talents offering guidance from day one. She expressed gratitude that WNBA legends like Taurasi are acknowledging her skill. In turn, that endorsement from a revered champion could fast-track public acceptance, turning initial curiosity about a star rookie into real acceptance from the league's veteran circle. Meanwhile, the WNBA potentially gets a bonus from this surprising alliance. Naysayers expected these two to remain locked in a generational standoff, but unity across star power excites fans far more than ongoing friction. For Clark's part, building a rapport with major names can only help, especially as she aims to bring the Fever back into competitiveness. If the league or Commissioner Kathy Engelbert can harness this newfound synergy, they might stoke fresh excitement all season long, especially in high-profile matchups featuring Clark versus Taurasi on the court. From a provocative reality is coming remark to a genuine on-air camaraderie, the Bird and Taurasi show served up a plot twist nobody saw coming. Instead of bristling with tension, Caitlin Clark and Diana Taurasi wound up trading insights and humor, revealing that despite generational differences, respect can trump rivalry. Clark's humility and readiness to develop further impressed a legend once skeptical of rookies who hype themselves. Where does this leave fans? Possibly more intrigued than ever, now that Clark's skill set is recognized by one of the greatest WNBA players of all time. Let us know below. Did this interview change your view of both Clark and Taurasi, or are you still waiting to see them settle it on the hardwood? Don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell for more on the biggest stories shaping women's basketball.